Welcome to Meet the Candidate. I'm Bianca Mewborn, freelance journalist and contributing correspondent to the Daily Reflector and the Standard newspapers. And today I am with the Mayor of Grifton, Billy Ray Jackson, who is the incumbent candidate running for re-election for Mayor of Grifton. Mayor Jackson, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you tell me about yourself?
Well, as you said, my name is Billy Ray Jackson. I'm 65 years old. I grew up in Grifton. I attended Grifton School and Aiden Grifton High School. I've been working I went to work for Pitt County Memorial Hospital in 1993, and I'm still currently working there, which is ECU Health now, but that's where I work.
And how long have you lived in the town of Grifton?
All my life.
What does Grifton mean to you?
Well, Grifton is home. Grifton's home, and my family have always been around Grifton. It means a lot to me. I've seen a lot of things change in Grifton. I remember Grifton as a boy. I remember Grifton before the flood. I remember Grifton when DuPont was still strong, and I know about Grifton now.
Mayor Jackson, can you tell me why you're interested in running for re-election?
I'm running for re-election because I feel like we still have some things to go yet that I'd like to see get done while I'm mayor. And it's just now beginning to really gain steam. It's moving now. We built a lot of houses. We built 50 new homes in Grifton right now. And we have plans to build more. Hopefully, when we get through, we'll have built about 600 new homes.
How nice.
And we've had 300 new residents to come to Grifton.
Mayor Jackson, can you tell me what some of your strengths are?
Well, some of my strengths are I do fairly well with people. I'm good with numbers. I don't have any anxiety at all when I'm in groups of people. I understand drainage. I understand municipalities as far as infrastructure is concerned. Mm-hmm. I understand numbers. I'm on the CMSD, which is the Continuous Metropolitan Sewage District. I'm the senior member of that board, and I'm also a member of NWASA, which is Neuse River Water and Sewer Association, which furnishes the water that's taken from the Neuse River up close to Seven Springs, and that's where a lot of our water comes from.
Right.
So I do pretty good with water and drainage and things of that issue.
Mayor Jackson, why should the citizens vote for you?
Well, you're asking me. For one thing, I've got the most experience. Mm-hmm. I've been the mayor for 19 years and 9 months. Mm-hmm. And I've got a pretty good success rate. Matter of fact, one of my opponents credited me for being the mayor when that town was bought from the red to now we're operating in the black. You know, it was voted on with 17th by the state that we'll be awarded a $4.7 million grant, which won't have to be paid back. That's the savings for the taxpayers in Grifton. And what that money will be used for, it'll be used for infrastructure on the water level. Mm-hmm. What it'll do, it'll locate lead pipe or galvanized pipe, and we have no lead pipe in Grifton. But what it'll do, it'll be helpful as far as paying to get the water mains reworked, getting rid of galvanized pipe, and we'll lay new pipe from the street to the meter, and from the meter to the customer's house, right up to the house. Which if it goes any farther than that, the customer have to do that. But the town will see to it that new pipe is put from the water main in the street up to the house.
Mayor Jackson, can you describe a time where you faced a challenging situation?
Well, I can tell you 3 times in particular when I faced a large challenge. Grifton has flooded 3 times since I was the mayor.
Yes, they have.
They flooded 3 times, and it worried me. I felt like every piece of property in Grifton, I was responsible for it. Mm-hmm. I've been up at 3 o'clock in the morning walking the streets and down, looking at the ditches and the creeks, hoping and praying that it wouldn't get any higher. And I learned about when it would peak and when it would flow. When you have a hurricane and it stops, you've got about a week to a point where it climaxes, and then it goes out. But it's just the help of the Lord is what keeps it from getting any worse than it does. But we've seen some bad times in Grifton as far as flooding is concerned. But I will say this, when I first got to be the mayor, if you got an inch of rain in an hour, we had about 5 streets that you couldn't even drive down. The people on Pitt Street, they'd be wondering if they were going to have to move out. And even with all the water that we've had this year, we've not had a street flood, and it come from drainage and ditching and infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And the first few years I was mayor, that was the biggest thing we worked on, was drainage. But hopefully we've got that to a place now that we can handle it.
I know Hurricane Floyd was extremely devastating for the town of Grifton. How was that time?
Well, it won't like the storm before, like in '99, I think it.
Oh, that was Floyd.
That was Floyd. Floyd was '99, but I was not mayor when that storm came through. Tim Bright was the mayor at that time, and I've always felt sorry for him that he had to be there during that, because I can tell you, dealing with the floods that I had to deal with since I was married, there've been 3. When the mayor and that storm comes and it floods, and you on the spotlight. Mm-hmm. The board's on the spotlight, the manager's on the spotlight, and you at the mercy of the world.
Everybody's looking at you.
Everybody's looking at you because you don't have any control of how much rain's going to fall. You don't have any control how long it's going to take for it to get out of there. But it'll put you sweating. It'll put you wondering why you even got the job.
Mayor Jackson, can you tell me about a time where you had to work with a difficult colleague?
Yes. I had a colleague at one time that had a problem separating Billy Ray Jackson from Mayor Jackson. Mm-hmm. And what would happen, this commissioner, I began to notice that if I came up with something, or if I was trying to do something, this commissioner would push against it right much. And one night after a meeting, I stopped the commissioner and asked him to come in my room, and I asked this commissioner if we couldn't start leaving this commissioner and Billy Ray Jackson out there outside, and when we came in, work as a commissioner and a mayor together to work for the greater good of the town. And from that point on, it seemed that things began to get better.
Can you describe a situation where you had to prioritize multiple tasks?
You always have to prioritize multiple tasks. But the thing a lot of time what takes priority in Grifton, because again, we're sitting in a bowl, mm-hmm. You don't ever not tend to drainage. You always tend to that. And then you have to work with businesses to a degree. You have to have the infrastructure ready for them. But you always got to prioritize.
Mayor Jackson, can you tell me what's one of your proudest accomplishments?
Well, I have one accomplishment. They were going to carry Grifton School from a K-8 school to a K-5 school. And I've missed a town meeting twice. One time I was sick, and another time I missed the town meeting to go to a meeting at the auditorium in Grifton that they were having with the Board of Education, because they were considering taking it from a K-8 to a K-5, and we didn't want that. We wanted it to stay a K-8 school because we did not want our students to have to be bused to Aden for middle school. We wanted them to stay in Grifton, and we were able to be successful with that. So I felt like I'd be better off attending that meeting, and I was at the Mayor Pro Tem attend the board meeting that night, and we accomplished what we set out to accomplish. And another thing that I'm proud of is when I was made mayor, our rolling stock wasn't in that good shape for us, police cars and things of that nature. We've got a good rolling stock now. We've got a good public works department. We've got a good superintendent of public works. We got a good staff. We've got a good chief of police, and we're fully staffed in that. And we're financially better off than we were when we didn't have all that.
I just want to say congratulations for having that full staff, and yes, your police department is really fully staffed now, and shout out to Chief Dennis down there in Grifton. He's doing a great job.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
What do you see as the most pressing needs for infrastructure or capital projects in Grifton?
Infrastructure, and we're working on it strong right now. I've already talked with you some on that, but I can't put enough emphasis on drainage. So I went up to the legislature. I think it was back in April. We have the town manager and myself went to about 12 different members of legislature trying to get, I think it was $7 million to help with another ditch in Grifton, to instead of the ditch that carries the water to Mill Branch Circle from behind over by Queen Street, between Queen Street and Billiconiggy Street. That's the primary flow of water getting it out of Country Club and downtown Grifton to Mill Branch Circle. And we want to go where that ditch turns toward the left. We want to go straight back to the creek, and that be the main path for the water will flow. And the one that's there now will be the secondary. And we feel like we can get the water out in there. But again, we're waiting on legislature. And when they vote to see can we get the help that we need to do that.
Mayor Jackson, should the board be encouraging building and development in Grifton?
The board should be encouraging building and development in Grifton. Anything that we can do to help anybody build or develop in Grifton, we do it. We don't help them monetarily, but you want to have the infrastructure there. We had it one time, the people that were doing work on the central business district in the buildings, we had a 50-50. Well, it wasn't exactly 50-50. We would give up to $2,000 on facade grants. If they wanted to rework the front of the store, we would give up to $2,000 if they paid $2,000 to help them with the facade on the front of the building.
What one part of town would receive more attention if you were reelected?
We don't have a single part of town in Grifton that receives more, regardless of what people say. We tend to every part of Grifton.
Mayor Jackson, if reelected, what is your primary goal to accomplish during your next term?
To keep the work going that we've been doing, improve more on what we've been doing, and leave it to my successor in better shape than I got it.
You got it after Floyd?
I got it behind, the Floyd was in 99, and I've been in office since 2005. But we will still hear everything that happened Well, the flood is 1999.
You were still dealing with the...
Still dealing with that. And I wanted so badly to move away from that. I wanted to get the mindset off of 1999 and that flood and quit worrying about that and just move forward and get as far away from that time as we could.
Mayor Jackson, what community involvement have you had in the last 5 years?
Well, for 5 years, I was chairman of the Pitt County Mayors Association, which that was during COVID and everything was kind of at a standstill. So I had that for 5 years, which I'm involved with my church. I'm a member of the CMSD, as I said before, Contending Metropolitan Sewage District. I'm a member of the NWASA, the Neuse River Water Sewer Association. John Lawson Days. They have John Lawson Days, and they're going to be in October, and we wish everyone would come.
That's coming up soon.
That's coming up soon. And they'll be selling butter beans and sausage, and I'll be out there cooking that. And for about 3 years, I cooked the fish stews up to this year. I served as mayor this year, but the 3 years before that, I've been cooking the fish stews for the Shad Festival with help from some other men in Grifton, but I oversaw that.
How nice. Mayor Jackson, how do you think the city council should interact with staff?
The city council hires the manager.
Mm-hmm.
The manager hires everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like it if the manager's sick or the manager's not at work, things have to be a little differently done.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have exceptions to all rules. But for the most part, I would like for the board to interact with the manager, and the manager interact with the office staff and the 2 department heads, which make up the superintendent of public works and the chief department, and handle it that way, because that's chain of command, and that seems to work the best.
Mayor Jackson, members of the city council and the mayor are frequently criticized in a very public way. If you're subject to public criticism, how would you respond to that?
How I would respond to public criticism, and I guess you want me to speak based on experiences I have had in the past. If you're criticized and the criticism is accurate and it's legitimate and it's true, whatever the problem is, you handle that and you fix that as quick as you can.
You have to eat it.
You have to eat it. But for the most part, what I've seen in the past, as far as what you call it, criticism, a lot of it was fabricated. And what you do in a case like that, you ignore it. You don't even dignify it with a response.
Right. I always say, I will not come off my chariot and throw tomatoes with you. I'm not going to get down in the mud.
That's the best way, because I've been dealing with it since about 2006, and I know the group of people that do it, and I pay them no mind as much as I can.
Absolutely. Mayor Jackson, at this time, if there's anything else that you'd like to express or share directly with the citizens of Grifton, please take this time to do so.
If you've been in Grifton, I thank you for your support in the past. If you're new in Grifton, I thank you for your support in this upcoming election. We're doing what we can to make things better in Grifton for you. I feel like I'm the most experienced. I feel like I'm the most qualified for the job. And I would like at this time to ask you, please, vote for me for your mayor to continue for the next 4 years. And thank you.
Mayor Billy Ray Jackson, the incumbent candidate running for re-election in town of Grifton. Thanks for watching Meet the Candidate. I'm Bianca Mewborn. Have a great day.